Hi, welcome to Christy's Stampin' Spot. This is the card we're going to make today. Oh my gosh, I absolutely adore this Christmastime Is Here suite. It's so fabulous. And one of the things that's super neat about this set is the stamp set, Christmas Rose, is has two pieces. It has both photopolymer and red rubber, which is so, and the red rubber is distinctive. Isn't that awesome? So pretty. So red rubber, and then we have the photopolymer, which is super cute. I had I don't know what that was in there. And then it also has some rose dies. So this one actually cuts out the big image right here. And I actually didn't stamp this image. This is directly from the DSP because this also cuts out one of the large images on the DSP. And then it has these two fabulous label dies and then these really cute accent dies. So that's pretty awesome. So it's a really great die set as well as stamp set. And then it has some super cute gold ribbon. Look at this, is the 1/4 gold shimmer ribbon. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. It's very shimmery. And then these fabulous gold glitter dots, which I love glitter dots. Very nice. It also has this super pretty bracelet. It has like the Stampin' Up! Logo and this pretty little rose. Can you guys see that? Did I get it too close? Ooh, it needs to. Trying to get it so it will. There it goes. There you can see it. Isn't that pretty? Very pretty. Very pretty, but I have to say the DSP is absolutely gorgeous. It is really, really gorgeous. So I actually today cut out this flower. I cut it off of the DSP and then I ran it through my Big Shot with the die cut and cut it out. But look how gorgeous. You guys see that gold? Oh, so pretty. And then here's the back with this lovely like pine cone. And I love this tuft. So I think this is like cherry cobbler with the gold. Not pretty. And then here's the swirls. It's nice. And then here, this one can be for any day, not necessarily for Christmas. You guys see that? And the gold accents are on the white roses. So that's really pretty. And then it has this nice kind of fleur-de-lis that matches the die cuts, which is really pretty. Super pretty. And that, I think the paper, and that's what a full sheet of that paper is with the roses. So this one doesn't cut out with this is not the one that cuts out with the die cut. This one is, but oh my gosh, I could totally fussy cut that. Oh, it's so gorgeous. So gorgeous. Love, 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 love. So this paper is so beautiful. And the colors, I actually wrote it down, is Cherry Cobbler, Early Espresso, Mossy Meadow, Poppy Parade, and Whisper White. So those are the colors that go with this. Now this really looks like soft sea foam. It's so pretty. So pretty. So the project we made today is already up on my blog, which we're going to make today. This really pretty card. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, love, 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 love. Oh, hi, Wendy. And then, and I actually printed out my directions, so I make sure that I call things the right thing. So I realized when I rewatched my Raven video that I called I think the very beginning I said it was a rich raspberry instead of blackberry bliss, so I've written it all down so I don't make a mistake about, because we are using the Mossy Meadow, so I didn't want to forget. So that's one of the coordinating colors in the DSP, which is why I picked this palette. And we're going to use the Early Espresso, and I'm going to actually run it and this Cherry Cobbler through my embossing folders to make my panel that goes behind my rose. So the Early Espresso I just absolutely love, and our Pinewood planks just became available I think maybe a week or two ago, but in the new style. So if you didn't get it at the last catalog, it's now available and it is so gorgeous. And just remember that when you get the new style, you need to use a 3D embossing folder plate. to get the great impression. So I already cut up my cardstock and I've already run it through with my Big Shot. So I used the Early Espresso and in the pine wood planks, and then I did the cherry cobbler with my the settle. And again, the settle is also available, and it is in the new style in this catalog still, and so which means they're not super fat. Then you need to definitely use the new blue 3D embossing folder when you do that. Okay, so I'm going to set these aside. They're not in my way. Okay, so first thing is I've got my lovely Mossy Meadow and card base. And of course this is our 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and I have it cut at 4 1/4 and scored at 5 1/2. And my Early Espresso, like I said, these measurements are already up on my blog. Early Espresso panel is a 3 by 4, and then I embossed it, dry embossed it with our pine wood planks. And then the cherry cobbler is 2 3/4 by 4, and it is embossed with a subtle embossing folder. So I'm actually going to create my panel that's going to go here. And so the tricky part is, and I usually put it back this way instead of do it by eye instead of using like a measuring tape, which is probably better, but I never do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glue, and so I'm not gluing it down yet to my Mossy Meadow because I want to use my ribbon as the but I'm going to build it this way. So on the pine wood planks there is an out and an in. So this one's out where the image comes out, and this side goes in, but I actually want this part to be my front. So I'm going to turn it this way. But when I use 2 panels to make a panel, it's always better. For me, I have to eye it, but you can always try to measure it, just so you make sure that you get it where you want it to go. So I'm going to use the glue. Put the glue right here on this panel. And then the settle doesn't matter which side it goes on. This way I get exactly what I want it to be, just like that. Okay, so then I can turn it over. Actually, before I turn it over, I'm going to add my tear and tape. So I really like using the tear and tape to adhere my ribbon. I think it just holds it so much better. And sometimes when I use glue dots, it tends to be a little bit bulky. So I definitely like to use tear and tape to adhere the ends of my ribbon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off. Maybe if I hold my oh, that looks like it feels like there might be some glue. Let me turn that over. Let me lose. There. Oh, I took it all the way off. That's funny. I almost need to get out my Pick a tool. There it goes. Dun, dun, dun. Almost got it. Maybe. Boy, this tear and tape is such a struggle. There we go. Okay, but it really works really nice, which is why I like to use it. Okay, so then I'm just going to back I want it to go over the transition. So make sure you're doing the right transition, because this is the front, not the other side. Just like that. It kind of softens the line. I just really like the way that looks. And I'll just snip it off. Just like that. I love the shimmer ribbon. So pretty. Okay, so now I have it on. That's where I want it to be. So now I can adhere it to my Mossy Meadow. So I'm going to use my glue. Get some glue on there. My gosh. So I always like to do that. I mean, you can measure your things out to make sure you get it the right way. But for me, I always like a little bit of overlap, and then I eye it to make my panel. But I love the way that looks. A little bit of glue overlap. See how that? So we have the settle up at the top, and then this fabulous wood plank on the bottom. Oh, hi, Vicky. So I just love the way the double embossing folder makes that look. It's so much fun. Okay, so I've already used my die cut out our pretty rose. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my gosh, this is so gorgeous. It's super easy to die cut too. And then I'm just going to figure out how I want this to go. I think I'm going to have it go just like that. And then I did make some fabulous vellum sprigs. So I love sprigs. And I usually my go-to is usually the frosted bouquet. But one of the new things that I got recently is the frosted frames, which is super gorgeous. And it has this great frame that actually has already has the floral like the sprigs attached, and then it has this really cool snowflake. And what's interesting is you die cut it on the piece once, but the pieces come out separate, so they're like I die cut all the vellum with like this, and it's one die, as I dropped it on the floor. And then it comes out in 2 separate pieces, like this one, and the little one, just like this. That way I can have a variety on my, I dropped my, oh, there it went. I cleaned last week, and so my floor looks all clean, and it was this disappeared onto my tile. But anyway, I love this. This is a fabulous, and this is in our the frosted frames. These are in a holiday catalog. It is such a fabulous die cutting set. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so I'm going to use my I think I'll just use some glue dots. And what I'm going to do is, now that I know kind of how I want this to go, before I put I'm going to put the rose up on Stampin' Dimensionals, but before I do that, I want to add a bunch of these little sprigs. So you see I added a bunch here. So I'm just going to, I don't want them to go too far off the page. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it and see how I want it to go. Just like that. So I'm just adding the glue dot to okay, see, in this one I got a little bit too high, so the way I've got it. I love adding the vellum, but sometimes I always want to go way too much. But oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Okay, add some more. And what's also good about this is you can also cut them in half if you wanted to not use as much. But I love the vellum. Love, love, love. Love to add sprigs to everything. I go a little bit overboard. Ooh, look at that, I just tore it a little bit. Luckily you won't be able to see that, because it goes underneath. Very nice. Okay, so I'm going to put my sentiment right here. So I want to make sure that I don't get it too much. Oops, and don't stick it to your paper yet. There we go. Still, I'm just getting this one out of proportion. There we go. These long ones. Okay, I think I'm good. I think like that. I think I need one more right here, because I can just do this all day. Like, I will add sprigs and add sprigs. I love them. They're so pretty. Okay. And it just adds a little bit. Okay, so now I need to stamp Dimensionals. I was looking, I did clean my space, and I found that I have a ton of just the edges. And don't throw these away, because they're so useful and fabulous. I have a couple of these aren't the edges. Let me use those. Now, with a big image like this, you do need to use quite a bit of Dimensionals, because you don't want it to be too squishy right? You need a little bit of solid. So use a lot. I actually use a lot on this. I really do love all the dimensionals. So I had quite a few of the Stampin' Dimensionals, and some of them I overlapped on the vellum to make sure they stuck. Take these off. But now the tricky part is figuring out which direction I had it so it fits the way I want it to. It's such a pretty, so gorgeous. This paper is just so gorgeous without any stamping, although we're going to stamp the sentiment. Okay, so like I said, don't throw these away. Keep them because they're pretty awesome. They're still usable even though they're not round. They don't have to be round. Actually, you know what? Let me add one more little piece to this one because this one's being all floppy. There we go. Okay. Now, let's see. How did I have this? There we go. Muy bien. Okay, so now I did go over the edge on these. Let me see if I can lift it up. So I didn't push down yet. So I am going to move. Now you can snip them the other way as well. But if I can, I'm going to just... Do you want, if you're going to send it in the mail, you definitely don't want it to hang over. If you're just putting it... to hand it or putting it on your mantle, then it doesn't really matter. But otherwise, if you're going to put it in a envelope, it does matter. Okay, there we go. I just squished it over. There we go. What do you guys think? Isn't that pretty? So pretty. Love, love, love. Okay, then we need a piece of Whisper White. So I usually stamp my cardstock and then I cut it to match, but for this I actually did do the measurements out, and so our Whisper White is 1 3/4 by 2.5. So love, love, love. Okay, so then let me get out my fabulous cherry cobbler. So this is the cherry cobbler and the Merry Christmas. The Merry Christmas is one of the sentiments in the photopolymer. And what's really awesome about this set is it has the great outside, the Merry Christmas, but it has two really nice inside sentiments. The wishing you gifts of the season, peace and joy, and may this Christmas fill your heart with warmth and love. So, and that's a super nice, even though just, you don't have to use this for Christmas because the rose makes fabulous winter cards, but it does make great Christmas cards. Okay, so I'm going to use the Merry Christmas, which is really nice, and the cherry cobbler. I'm just going to hold my tongue just right so that it goes on here, just like that. Nice, fabulous. Okay, so if you guys see that I've got it and cleaned it sort of, but see how it's a little bit, the red is still on it. So Stampin' Up! Does have this fabulous product that I just started to use. It's called the Stamp Cleaning Pad, and you just use this to help with your get the staining off, but you have to clean it pretty quickly. So I'm actually going to do it right after my live. But so once you've got it like stamped off and there's not like a lot of extra ink on here, then you just stamp it on here, and I'll let it set for a second, and most of the, you can see most of the color actually comes off. But like the StazOn cleaner, you can't leave it on your stamps for very long because it will deteriorate them. But that's with the new stamping cleaner. Okay, so then after you get your sentiment, I'm going to use the detailed trio punch, which I once called the banner punch, which is super silly. But right here is our corner, and I actually love the this corner punch. I've had trouble with corner punches like forever. This one works like a dream. I love it so much. Because I really love this big, gorgeous Merry Christmas, but I didn't want to, you know, cover up all of my pretty embossed early espresso. So I needed it to be a little bit, do you know what I mean? Just a little bit, and I'm going to tuck this underneath. So one thing that's good about the vellum is you can still see under your, you can still see what your sentiment is, even if the vellum covers the top of your sentiment, and you can just tuck it underneath. So I'm just going to use some glue, and I apply it to the back, just like that. And then I'm going to just lift this up a little bit because I want to tuck it right here. And let's see, not too far. I don't want to tuck it too far. And there we go. Just like that. And then push down. Push it down. Add a little bit of glue. Very nice. Very nice. And it's okay that it covers up a little bit because, again, with the vellum, although it's still on that glue dot, so I can always maneuver it a little bit out of the way if I want. Let me move it a little bit out of the way. That's better. Like that. Just keep that in mind when you're doing it. But the vellum, it's okay if it crosses over your sentiment because it is, again, see-through. That's what makes vellum awesome. Okay, there you go. So now I've got the sentiment. Now let's make our bow. It's not super, I love this bow. Okay, so we need more of the, I'm not that great at bow making, but this is a really nice ribbon for that. I just make it right here on my spool. And one of the fun things, one of the nice things about this new suite that's coming is that it isn't a product medley, although I love the Everything is Rosy product medley. I mean, it's fabulous to order, although they've made a lot of our suites kind of like product medleys because you can use one number to order everything. But with this, you can order extra ribbon or extra glue dot or glitter enamel dots with the Most Wonderful Time product medley that's in the catalog. I love that tinsel ribbon, but that's it. You can only get one so far with your kit, and then you're done. You can't order more of that ribbon. That ribbon was so fun. Okay, so I like to have a kind of a small ribbon. I mean, a small bow. My small little ribbon. There we go. And then I'm going to trim it a little bit more. And then I'm just going to use glue dots. And I'm going to attach it like right here. So it looks like you can see a little bit of the gold behind it. Where I did the layer, where I did the transition. Just like that. Muy bien. How cute is that? So pretty. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay. Then we need to add these glimmer. Look at these glitter enamel dots. Aren't they awesome? So awesome. Okay, I definitely need my pick a tool. What did I do with my pick a tool? Did I bury it underneath these cards? I totally did. Here it is right here. So I actually, the Monster Bash ones, I think I have the most trouble with. I would use them even with my pick a tool. I would launch them into space. I was making something the other day. I was just launching them into space. So you don't need a lot of pressure. I was using way too much pressure, apparently. Oops, I got it on my finger. So I'm just going to add some of these dots. What I really like about these enamel dots is there's a whole slew of them. Like, it's so many. How many is in a package? Let's see how many is in a package. 160. 160, which is fabulous. You don't feel like you have to, you don't have to skimp on them. You can put a ton, which I love putting a ton. I love all the glimmer and glare. It's so awesome. Okay, let's see. Just like that. And I want to put another one. So I like to do things in fives, right, on odd numbers. Ooh, what did this? I took another one off my finger. So there you go. Muy bien. So that was pretty simple. I mean, I did have to readjust my sprigs. That's the only problem with the vellum. Sometimes I get a little too carried away with the vellum. Okay, so again, because we're using Mossy Meadow and it's super dark, you definitely need an inside piece. So I've cut a very Whisper White inside piece, and my insides are usually 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And so let's do this one, and I like my I use this fabulous sentiment that is from, I'll set it behind me, the photopolymer set. Like I said, has fabulous insides. And again, I'm going to use the Cherry Cobbler. Get that nice and inked on there, just like that. Oh, so pretty. And remember, I have like a mat down on mine. If you guys don't have a mat, you should totally invest in like our $5 our piercing mats, because when you use the photopolymer, it doesn't have, like our red rubber hat doesn't have like the little cushion, the foam, and you totally need that. I don't need it on this surface because I actually have a foam surface down, which helps keep my photopolymers nice. But if you ever have problems with that, you can also like stamp on your your catalog, anything that can give you a little bit of cushion. Okay, and just like I did with our Merry Christmas, I'm going to use a little bit my fabulous new stamp cleaner, and look, it takes it all off. That way I can keep it cleaner, keep it clean. Now remember, you can't, I'm gonna, as soon as I get off, I'm gonna wash this with soapy water so that it doesn't deteriorate my photopolymer. But anyway, isn't that gorgeous? So pretty. And then we just need to add it. That's the one I've already done. I'm gonna add it to the inside of my, with some glue. Just like that. Actually, I can use you can use baby wipes to clean off your stamps, which I should have used before. Let me get my baby wipes out. Let's see. Oh, it looks like there's a delay on this one. It's weird. I'm going to use a baby wipe to clean off my stamp off that. I'm going to, like I said, when I'm done, I'm going to run it underneath. Look at how nice that looks. I'm going to run it underneath my sink, just on the block. I'll just run it with a little bit of mild Dove, or Dawn soap. I love the Dawn soap. But I've just used the baby wipes. And baby wipes are really great for cleaning up, especially if you're using stuff that can get all over your fingers. But again, if you use it on your red rubber, definitely use your Stampin' Mist with a Stampin' Scrub, because it does condition your red rubber, and baby wipes can dry your stuff out, which you don't want. So now let me clean this really good. And one of the reasons why I'm doing that right now is because I realized I did not do the back of my card, and it's naked if I don't do it. So now that I've got all that off, turn this over. And I'm going to stamp it again. So again, when your stamps stain, it doesn't at all affect the stamping ability. So it doesn't make your stamps less effective. It's only if you're AR and don't like it colored. So this is my Stampin' Up! Logo stamp that I try to stamp all the back of my cards with. And if you sell your cards in on a craft fair and you Stampin' Up! Products, you do need to put our copyright on the back, Stampin' Up! Copyright. And you can find, we have two actually in the catalog right now of these, and one's in the Make a Difference stamp set, and the other one is in the Crafting Forever, which is a smaller red rubber, which is still really nice. So look at that, isn't that beautiful? Oh, I love that. This is a great Merry Christmas. So pretty. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this set. It's so lovely. So lovely. Look at that. Yay. And like I said, I got to use the Early Espresso and the Cherry Cobbler because those are the colors that match the DSP. And I just, like I said, all I stamped was this. This is just die cut out. Super easy, super easy. So I hope you guys have enjoyed today's card and the Christmastime Suite, your sneak peek. If you guys are watching this video later on my Facebook Live replay, please like my page and my video and give it some love. If you're rewatching this later on my YouTube channel, definitely hit that subscribe button so you'll get notified when I have other videos post. And if you're needing any supplies, don't forget to use this month's host code And I hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Happy crafting!